Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the 38th installment of Black Girls on Television. I am not feeling it today. I'm tired. It's Veterans Day, so let me just say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. For every military branch that may have served, we appreciate you. I think this is the last season I'm going to be doing Empire Can't Do It No More, you guys. That whole episode last night or Wednesday night, I was just like, this is stupid. I'm going to finish out the season, and then I think it's going to be a wrap on this. I don't plan on reviewing his new show that's coming on. I'll be watching it, but I'm not going to review that either. I think me and Lee, I think we just going to have to agree to disagree after this. Anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright, you guys, so the show opens with Jamal, and you remember the sneak love. What did I used to call him? I don't even remember. They're in the studio listening to some music, and it looks like the guy is trying to push up on Jamal, but Jamal ain't having it. We flash over to Shine. Shine is preparing to go kill Lucius. Okay, got all his boys. They packing up their guns and getting in the car. We see Cookie and Councilman Diggs. They're on a coffee date. Okay, walking down the street, giggling, laughing, having a good time, flirting back and forth. Then all of a sudden, they're stopped by some men. It looks like they're the police at first, but then they're like, no, your husband sent us. Okay, she's like, he's not my husband, you know, and they're like, you got to go with us, and, you know, so they take her off against her will, and, you know, she's telling Councilman Diggs she don't know exactly what this is about. I'm just like, since when can somebody just pick you up off the street, and they not the police? Really? Then we see Lucius in the Hummer with Boo Boo Kitty. I'm assuming the baby has a doctor's appointment, and she doesn't understand why they got to be with all of the security. He was just like, well, you know, we know that Shine is about to clap back at any time, okay? Unless you think you bulletproof, then you need to just go on and stick with this security. Now, sure enough, Shine makes good on his promise, shows up at Andre's house, knocks out, I guess, his security. And when Andre turns around because he's at the sink, Shine has a gun pointed at him. Andre is just sitting there, a sitting duck, you know. Shine pulls the trigger, but it's jammed. So he pulls out another gun. I was just like, how stupid is this? And while he's about to shoot Andre, all of a sudden, here comes Nessa. Shine, no! Hits his hand. The bullet goes somewhere else. What are you doing? He's like, what are you doing here? Are you sleeping with him? And she was like, yeah, him and his wife. Anyway, she's all like, you can't do this. We gotta go. His security pulls her off. But he tells Andre, you know what, I'm not going to kill you in front of her. I'm not going to get my hands dirty, but I will be back, okay? As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to save you for last. Back at Lucius's house, once he gets his whole family there, he lets them know what happened with Shine, okay? Hakeem is pissed because he feels like he makes his best music with Shine, and now Lucius done fucked it up. Jamal is just like, you love this drama. Lucius was like, it brought his family back together. When is the family never apart? This family is so damn dysfunctional. Anyway, Lucius says he has Shine where he want him. He just has to reel his bitch ass back in. The next day, Jamal goes to pick up Hakeem from Empire. You know, he tells Hakeem that he wants to do a song with him. And, you know, Hakeem was just like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Besides, you can't even sing in public. You know, you start to having a damn anxiety attack. And he was like, no, I mean, we're going to do it at my house. It'll be very intimate. You know, just the cameras and me and you. Hakeem's not sure about it. And Jamal was like, oh, you want to work for Dad, the kind that's beating up your favorite producer. That's the kind of person you want to work for. I was just like, why are you acting like that's brand new? Nigga, always been crazy. Y'all been working for them all this time. So they go to Leviticus. They put out the news. It's going to be a special streaming event on Friday. So you guys make sure that you be there. And while they're on the camera talking about that, who should walk in but Little Romeo, looking just like and sounding just like Master P. I mean, I thought it was him. And I was like, no, Master P is not on this show. And of course, he's all teasing Hakeem like, oh, you know, let's battle. We going to battle online. Let your streaming people see. I'm going to let my streaming people see it. We going to see who wins. Okay, so of course, you know, Hakeem falls for the bait. Jamal was like, wait a minute. Well, how do you think he even got into Leviticus and all the security around? And Hakeem says, Lucius. Yeah, we know Lucius is setting up this battle because he wants his monster back. As far as Becky is concerned, you guys, she's still being disrespected down there at Empire. Don't nobody listen to her. She wants Tatiana to sing one song, or Tiara. What's that child name? She wants her to sing one song, but the new white guy that they hire wants her to sing something else, and Cookie goes along with his idea instead of Becky's. I don't know why Becky is still there, honey. They don't treat you like nothing but shit. Now, later on, Andre sees Nessa, and she's mad at him. Why would you do something like that to my brother? You beat him up? Andre was just like, no, we want to talk to Shine again. We just got to get him back over. You know, he throw the charm on her. He could give her so much more. And then she says, well, you said that if you had had my talent, that you would do more for me. And he was like, yeah, if you get him to come to this table, then you will see just how much more I will do for you. So then we get this scene that really just got on my nerves, and that's when I just realized that I can't do it no more. Jamal is talking to Lucius, and, you know, he's trying to squash the beef because he just wants to work with Hakeem. And, you know, Lucius is telling him, you know, that he's just like him, and Jamal is denying that he's just like Lucius. You drop Vantage Loaf back off in the ghetto, you didn't want to deal with her no more, you know, that's just like how I would do. And there was a whole bunch of tough talk going back and forth between the two of them, and I was just like... What was funny, though, was when he walked out, you know, Lucius told Jamal that he was corny. And he was like, I'm going to set up a duet between you and Mary Magdalene as long as I can get God to release her. And then he said, oops, I said no. It was corny. All of it was corny, but I actually did laugh on that part. Now, Cookie goes to the probation office with coffee for everybody. Hey y'all, how you doing? She's greeting everybody, giving them their coffee, and she goes to sit down with her probation officer, and her probation officer is being a bitch. Cookie don't understand why she's being a bitch towards her. She's honored that she wasn't on time and that you're gonna have to respect me. Okay, so go on and take this cup and go pee in it. You know, Cookie's just like, hey, what's up with the damn attitude? I mean, you were showing me pictures of your grandkids last time I was here. Now you want to act like this? Cookie kept looking around like, what's going on here? I didn't understand why she kept looking around. I was just like, what is going on here? Now Tiana, is that her name, you guys? Anyway, she has an attitude at first because she thinks that she's singing the song that Cookie and the white guy wanted her to sing. But then Becky was like, no, you're not gonna sing that song, you're gonna sing Starlight, you know. And Tiana was like, am I? You know, she's all excited, and Becky's like, yeah, I told you I'm gonna get you everything that you need here, don't even worry about it. Girl, you about to get yourself fired up here lying about some music that this child's supposed to sing. The next scene that got on my nerves was when Lucius was reading the damn book to the baby by the fireplace, you know, and he's all extra dramatic and talking about the story, and then Hakeem coming there with his stupid ass. Why she always sleep? Because she's a fucking baby, stupid ass. Lucius and him have this whole talk about, you know, strength and how it's a cold world out there. You gotta kill or be killed. You a lion. And, you know, Hakeem was just like, you just want me to be under you like Andre is. And he was like, no, you know, you got it in you, and you gotta be strong for Bella. And he got most stories about the world and turning the meek and humble into destroyers. I was just like, now, later on, Jamal and Hakeem are practicing for this stream event, and, you know, after Jamal sing his soft little happy song, then here come Hakeem, okay, he all extra. This is another scene that I was just like, this is stupid. You know, he throwing the stool around, and he's jumping all around, and he's rapping, and, you know, he just extra hard. This is his battle rap, I guess. And when he finishes, Jamal was like, yeah, we not doing that. Okay, don't throw the stool because you look mad and you all over the place. And I just told you that you need to stay in this spot because it's going to be the cameras and this in the house and we ain't got all this fucking room. You doing too much. Hakeem is just like, no, this is the song that he got to do. And, you know, Jamal's like, oh, so you sounding like dad now. Okay, you do that clapback shit somewhere else. Hakeem was like, don't try to tell me what I can't do. Okay, you need me. I'm the hit here. People still want to see me. People ain't seen you. You can't even breathe when you be in front of everybody. So you need to do this and I need to help you. So if you don't like what I'm about to do, I can really just forget this whole thing. All right, he walks off. Jamal kind of molded. Now, later on, Shine goes to Lucius's house. Security pats him down. And here we go again with the tough talk. You know, this one can kill that one if they wanted to. You know, they from the streets and all this. Make a long story short, the meeting goes bad and Shine is about to leave, okay? And then all of a sudden, here comes Anika. She comes in there. She was just like, oh, you know, I was talking to my husband and he said that he was going to give you an imprint. And of course, Lucius and Andre are just standing there listening because they had not planned on giving him no imprint. I don't know what their plan was. They thought that they had lost Shine and that he was leaving out. So, you know, they just kind of looked relieved that Anika came and saved the day. So, you know, Shine turns around and asks Lucius, was that what he was going to do? And he was just like, yeah, that's what I was going to do. You know, you just came in here all tripping and everything. But yeah, we gonna get this imprint. It's gonna be all good. So Shine seems to be happy and they shake on that. And so I guess all the tough boy bravado will go away now. Now, Cookie's still mad about what happened to her at the probation office. Okay, Councilman Dix comes to the house and she blames him. He was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, my probation officer was tripping. I mean, you told them to keep an extra eye on me, be extra hard on me. He was like, no, I don't have that kind of control. And she was just like, well, whatever it is, this ain't gonna work. You must feel like you gotta control me and you messing everything up. And he was like, no, Lucius is messing everything up. I mean, he stays in our relationship and you don't want to let him out, obviously. But you know what? Let me get out of here before I cuss your motherfucking ass. He was like, before I say something I don't need to say, you know, she was just like, fine, whatever. So she goes and opens the door, like, get out, tells him good luck. I was like, girl, why you just, what the man, that man ain't did nothing to you. You so busy trying to run behind Lucius. I mean, that Cookie ain't never gonna have no good man, okay, fucking around with Lucius. We see Tiana sing the song, and it's good, and the white boy is enjoying it, and so is Becky, and then when it's over, you know, he was just like, okay, I made a mistake, the song is good. Okay, but Cookie is going to kill you. And Becky was like, well, you have to be on my side. You have to help argue for me, okay, that this song is better. Just help me convince her that this is what the artist wants. Now, Cookie and Jamal go over to Hakeem's place, and she was like, the fuck is wrong with this place? It's a damn mess. But let me tell you something, boy. You gonna do this song with Jamal. Hakeem said he don't want to do the damn song with Jamal. Cookie said, you gonna do what the fuck I tell you to do because this is my money here, and you're not about to come in between me and my money. Okay, you think your dad is bad? Don't make your mama mad. Don't get on my bad side. After she fusses with Hakeem, you know, he finally agrees that he'll do it. So, you know, she gives him a hug and then she slaps him. It's like, oh God, that Cookie. She was like, clean up this fucking house, okay? Smell like ass in here. I think that those little parts are probably little ad-libs that they add in that they let them keep. So the streaming event. It's at Jamal's house, like they said, and you know they have it set up, and the family is there, and Jamal says they're there for love and light. So he sings his little song, and it looks like everybody's enjoying it, but Lucius, okay, he was just like, nobody want this kumbaya shit, okay? Look at these streaming numbers. He's telling Cookie. She was like, they steady. He said, yeah, they steady. They not going up. Hakeem's audience ain't even tuning in to this shit. They don't want to see this. So then he goes over there to Hakeem while Jamal is singing, and he was just like, I'm sorry, I keep dropping my phone. I need to make sure you're going to get out there and sing your beef song. And, you know, Hakeem was like, I ain't beefing with nobody over my ex. Okay, I'm about to lock down the new girl, Nessa, by the end of the night. And then Lucius is like, are you sure about that? Because look like Nessa over there enjoying Andre. Okay, we see Andre and Nessa over there just laughing and giggling, all tall, close, you know, shoulder to shoulder in the chair. And so when Hakeem sees that, he's mad. So as soon as Jamal finished, this is the other scene that got on my fucking nerves. He get back up there with that old mad ass rapping, okay, and throwing shit around. Jamal looks at him and is just like, okay, so he's rapping and he's saying it, whatever he got to say about his battle rapping. And when he's done, Jamal is pissed, and Cookie was like, we ain't fixing to go there. Got cameras rolling. This is live. But Jamal don't listen. And he run up to Hakeem. Was like, the hell wrong with you? And Hakeem was just like, you all sitting up here wanting me to be all nice and everything. And you see that Andre done stole my girl. Andre was like, I didn't know that was your girl. I didn't know you guys had done anything. And Nessa's just like, wait a minute, Hakeem. We didn't do nothing. We didn't do nothing. We didn't have nothing. Hakeem was just like, what you mean we didn't have nothing? Didn't we do a song together? Didn't we vibe? And Jamal was like, oh, okay. Everybody excuse us. Hakeem and the girl vibed, and that's why he's upset. Okay, so they arguing. Lucius wants the cameras to keep going. Cookie is trying to get the cameras to stop. She's trying to unplug the cameras, but they were following them, and they are arguing back and forth. It was actually a really good argument scene. I was like, they really looked like they was just going on and on. I was like waiting to hear a curse word on accident, but we didn't. So the streaming event is a bit of a disaster. As far as Becky is concerned, it comes back to bite her on the ass. Okay, Cookie meets with her and Tiana, and it's just like, Tiana, we gonna have to delay your album. Tiana's like, why? And she was like, because the song that you did was not the song that I approved. Okay, I didn't sign off on that, so now we got to put you back in the studio so you can sing the song that I said for you to sing. You know, Tiana was just like, didn't you tell me that I could sing this song? And Becky was just like, yeah, well, she was like, well, she lied, okay? You wasn't supposed to sing that song. And so Tiana was just like, well, I don't want nobody on my team that lies. Take Becky off. Becky was like, please don't take me off her team. I want to work for her. And Cookie was like, I'm sorry you did this to yourself. When she asked the white boy why he didn't try to help her out, he was just like, hey, this is just business. Councilman Diggs, okay, to make everything right, he has the probation officer, I guess the actual probation. I don't know who these people were. It was her probation officer, and then I guess her supervisor comes down there and he tells Cookie that he's sorry, what happened. Okay, she's been a model probation probationary person, and you know they don't want to be putting a clamp down on her like that. And okay, whatever. So you know, Cookie's thankful that Councilman Diggs helped her out like that. So now they back friends. Okay, he tells her that he want to fight with her against Lucius. Okay, they a team now. We'll see how long that lasts before Cookie don't be pushing him off again. We see Shine and he's talking to Tariq. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys that part of the imprint deal that he has, he can't take Nessa because she's already signed to Empire, but they told him that he could take Fantage Loaf. So later on we see Tariq and Shine talking, and he was just like, Shine was like, I'm telling you, Tariq, I'm giving you something good here. You see that girl across the street? That's Fantage Loaf. And you know who she is? That's Frank Gass's daughter. And Tariq was like, yeah, I know about Frank Gass. And he was like, yeah, you know he got killed up in jail upstate or wherever he was. Tariq was just like, oh, really? So you telling me that Lucius killed Frank Gass? And he was like, no, I'm not telling you nothing. Just walking my dog. Okay, and he walks off. And we see Tariq looking over at Fantage Loaf. She's closing up her barbershop for the night. And then in the last scene that got on my nerves, we see Lucius and Hakeem with the baby again. And they talking. And Hakeem says he needs to find himself musically again. And, you know, Lucius says, I'm proud of you. You got your swagger back. He gives the baby over to Hakeem. And, you know, Hakeem was like, this is the first time she's not screaming. Lucius was like, yeah, we're going to work together. And I'm going to produce your music. And, you know, we're going to turn you back into a destroyer of souls. Okay, and Hakeem just stares at him. And it's just dark. I was just like, yeah, I can't do this show too much longer, y'all. Just this season, that's it. Alright, you guys, my husband just called me and I'm upset. Because we were supposed to be going to go see the Love Jones play tonight. And he has missed his flight home. So we're not going. I'm going. I'm going to see if I can get somebody to go with me now. Anyway, you guys, on to this review. So Annalise is in jail, and she's telling Bonnie that there's an anonymous source that turned her in. Are you the anonymous source? Look me in my eye. Bonnie tells her, no, I'm not. Okay, Annalise was like, I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. You know, and Bonnie was just like, I'm going to look into it for you. Flips back to a week earlier, and we see Bonnie over at Annalise's house to let her know that Fine-Ass Frank is back. Then the camera flips to actually where Fine-Ass Frank is, which is at Laurel's house. And he was just like, so you love Wes? I mean, you love him? And she was like, what are you doing here? He was like, I'm here because I love you. And she was just like, whatever, you don't love me. She's trying to tell him to get out. He tells him he don't know what he would do if he's by himself. Plus, he don't have anywhere else to go. And she was like, well, that's your fault. And the phone rings and it's Bonnie. And she's asking her, is Fine-Ass Frank there? And she tells her, yes. That's when Annalise gets on the phone. You tell him if he comes anywhere near this fucking house, I'm gonna kill him. Fine-Ass Frank was like, is that Annalise? He wants to talk to her. And Annalise was like, no, he doesn't get to talk to me. Okay, she hangs up the phone before he can. So he turns around to go over there. And Laurel's just like, no, you can't go over there. And he was like, I just want to talk to her. And she was just like, if you go over there, Annalise says she's gonna kill you. If you love me like you say you do, come on back in this house. Hello. Hey. Okay. About 7:30. So you think we're gonna be able to? We're not gonna be able to make it, huh? We're just gonna go straight from the airport. Next, we see Wes leaving his house. A man is coming up the stairs and he hands up a subpoena. He has been summoned to come to court. He goes to Annalise's house, of course, because they're trying to figure out what to do now. In the meantime, Bonnie goes over to Laurel's house the next morning. And after Laurel lets her in and she goes to the room, she sees Fine-Ass Frank putting his clothes on. Okay, you know, Bonnie looks at him. And then she looks back at Laurel and, you know, Fine-Ass Frank was just like sorry as he's buckling up his pants. I was just like, why Bonnie getting upset? Okay, even if Laurel did fuck on him, which I didn't think that she did, but even if she did, I mean, Bonnie, you the one told him to get out, right? So she tells him Annalise needs your help. So I guess after Bonnie and Finance Frank leave, you know, Wes comes over there and he's talking to Laurel. He's upset. Okay, why didn't you tell me that Finance Frank was back? And she was like, because I didn't want to worry you. And he was like, well, now I am worried. And then she was like, I didn't sleep with him. And he was like, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about him. But you need to be worried about her too. Because she don't love you, even though she's acting all giggly like she does. She still loves Finance Frank. Did you tell him about us? And she said no. She doesn't care what he thinks. But you know, Finance Frank already heard her saying that she loves Wes. I was just like, this damn Wes, he's such a damn fool in love. Now we see Finance Frank. I guess this is part of the plan, okay? He is following the lawyer of Mahoney's son. So Bonnie tells Annalise that whenever Finance Frank finds out something, he's gonna call her, and you know, they'll let Annalise know. But in the meantime, President Hargrove's office calls, you know, the president of the school. And, you know, she wants Annalise to come down there. Annalise was just like, as if I don't have 100 other things to worry about. So she goes down there to the president's office. And the president was just like, my husband, he wants full custody, he wants the house, he wants spousal support, and if I don't give him all this, he's gonna go public. So Annalise, tell me, what should I do? Should I settle? And Annalise was like, let me just think about it. I'm gonna come up with an alternative for you. Now, jump over to the kids. We see Oliver. He gets flowers from his love. Okay, Asher thinks that they're from Connor, and Connor's like, they not from me. Okay, they from new boyfriend, new ex-boyfriend. What's his name, you guys? Thomas. It looks like Connor is falling again for Oliver. You know, Michaela tells him, like, you know, we gotta go because Annalise wants us to come over. So when they get over to the house, you know, and it's Annalise and Bonnie and Laurel and Wes, they're telling them that Finance Frank is back. And you know, they're all like, what? Okay, this is all his fault. You know, he's the one that got us in this mess anyway. Bonnie says, no, he's helping us. Okay, and Michaela was just like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. Okay, I'm not dealing with this. So she's like leaving. She tries to get Asher to leave with her, and you know, Asher's like, no, he's gonna stay. He's part of the team. So now the team is trying to figure out how they can delay this court hearing. We see Finance Frank on the job. He is following the lawyer, right? And he sees her go into a store, and he's about to follow her into the store, I suppose. And then he's walking up, and then he sees this lady pass by him, and she looks familiar. Who might she be? Well, she might be the actual lady who gave him the money to crash into Annalise that made Annalise lose her baby. When he looks at her, he turns around and he watches her walk into the same store that the lawyer just went into, and they're sitting there together talking to the salespeople. He's looking like, what kind of fuck shit is going on here? So I guess he calls Bonnie and lets her know. So Bonnie is talking to Annalise, okay, and he says, well, you know what? She must be the alibi. Finance Frank says that she's the chick who paid him the cash to kill your baby. I told him to follow her. He could take care of it if he has to. I mean, she is the person that killed your baby. Now, you know what really annoyed me was when Wes and Laurel was hooked up at the fucking doctor's office. And, now, if you're going to hook up, fine. But you're going to be hooked up in the same place where you know the ex-girlfriend works. So she comes up and she sees them all hugged up. She was just like, I guess I was right. And Laurel just kind of gets up and walks away. And then Wes is just like, well, he trying to come up with some story. She was just like, save it. I don't need to hear none of the lies. Okay, you should have just told me if that's the hoe that you wanted to be with. Just go on and leave my workplace, please, asshole. I was just like, I can't stand motherfuckers that just don't have no kind of... I mean, how you just gonna be up in the same place where Maggie works? I know Maggie is a doctor and all, but she should have whooped Laurel's ass. Back at the house, Asher's just trying to connect the dots here, and he asks Bonnie, like, okay, so Finance Frank is back, like, you know, we didn't like him at first, do we like him now? You know, Bonnie was just like, he's working for Annalise. But you know, we got this here, so why don't you go on home? And he was like, no, I told you guys that I'm going to be a part of the team. I don't want to go. And she was like, yeah, you need to go on home. And he was like, you act like something bad is about to happen. He was like, baby, something always bad is about to happen in this damn house. Flashback to the lawyer who's about to leave the store, and we see her, maybe her chauffeur hand her an envelope. Says he didn't know where it came from, but she sits down in the car and she opens it, and then we don't see what she opened up the envelope to. Now, back at the house, Wes's lawyer is fussing at Annalise. Okay, he's mad because she slipped the defense Wes's medical records. Even though that probably helped, you interrupt my case again and I'll report you. And she was just like, oh, if you report me, then I will report that you told me that he has mental issues. When the lawyer leaves, she asks Bonnie, is Finance Frank still following the lawyer? And Bonnie says yes. And then she was like, you tell him don't do anything to her. Okay, if he does anything to her, then I'm going to turn us all in. Jump over to Oliver and Connor. They're in the shower. And again, they discussing their relationship and whether or not they're going to be together. And I'm just sitting there rolling my eyes like, While they're in the shower talking, though, who should call but Thomas? It looks like Thomas is trying to get back in good with Oliver. We get a touching little scene when Asher and Michaela are in bed, and they're just talking about their relationship. She's saying how she came from a horrible family that always wanted shit from her, and that's why she's had to cut herself off from them and become the kind of person that she is. Okay, Asher was just like, I want to know everything about you. Okay. She was just like, your life was different than mine. Okay, you grew up with people telling you that they loved you and all that. I didn't have that in my house. Okay, so that's why I'm the way that I am. I have a complicated, needy family. Now, let me go back to studying. They actually are a cute couple to me. I know a lot of people don't like them together. Now, Annalise is trying to prepare Wes for his court case, and she's asking him all these different questions that the lawyers will probably ask him. He finally asked her, are you going to take Finance Frank back? And Annalise simply does not know. Okay, and he was just like, well, he killed your baby. And she was like, and you killed Sam. Okay, nigga, don't get up in here with all of this accusing who killed who or what. So they back off. She mentions Laurel, and he's all shocked. He's like, did she tell you? And she was like, she doesn't have to tell me. I'm happy for you. You guys seem happy together. That's all I ever wanted for you. Later on, Finance Frank calls, and Annalise puts him on the speaker. And he's over at the old girl's house, okay, the lady that paid him to kill, run into Annalise. He's all walking through the house. He's in the baby's bedroom and all of this. Annalise was like, if you do anything to her, I promise you I'm going to go to the police. All of a sudden, in the background, you hear that the lawyer and her daughter have gotten home from their long day. Finance Frank just hangs up the phone. So they don't know what Finance Frank about to do. As the night goes on, the lady then got the baby in the bed, and she reading her a story, and Finance Frank is in the fucking closet. I said, child, you don't know how close you are to dying. Poor Annalise. She's tormented. She's thinking about all the shit that has happened. It's flashing back in her mind. She can't take it no more. Okay, goes down to the liquor store. Goes to the wine section. Opens up a bottle of wine. And she's just smelling it. Looking real strange in the fucking store. Somebody walks by and is just like, and Annalise was like, what? She didn't fall off the wagon, okay? Instead, she bought a whole bunch of shit. A whole bunch of snacks and candies and everything. She put it on the counter, and then she sees that there is a burner phone back there. We know that burner phones usually mean bad business. Now, Finance Frank calls Bonnie and tells her, I left the house. Bonnie's at the house by herself at Annalise's house. And she was like, no, Finance Frank, you got to go back in there. You got to do it. I know Annalise doesn't want you to do it, but this is what she needs. She's not going, she don't know right now, but this is what she needs. This is going to help her. Right while she's talking to him, Annalise comes home and she was like, is that Finance Frank? And she says, yeah, he left the house. He didn't do anything to him. And Annalise was like, good. And then all of a sudden she throws the burner phone on the table. I could not understand what she said. I listened to it about 15 times. I just don't know what she said. She said something like, here's your something, something, something. Now we see Wes, he's being questioned by a court-ordered psychologist. Okay, and she's asking him, you ever hurt anybody? And he said, not physically. Have you ever hurt anybody, wanted to? And he says, I think we all have been that mad. They asked him, did he lie about seeing, the son Mahoney on the street? And he said no. Now at the same time that she's questioning him, we see Bonnie, and she is giving this guard a package, and the guard is walking down what looks like a prison hallway and gets to a cell and hands the package to Mahoney, who's in jail. Then we see Annalise. She's talking to Laurel. Okay, she also brings up their relationship, and Laurel's about to come up with all the excuses, and Annalise is like, I don't care about your relationship. I just need you to help me a little bit with Wes. So then we see Laurel in the garage, and we see real nice Nate looking good in his suit. Child, ain't nothing like a man in a suit. He's walking to his car, and he was like, Annalise sent you? And she was just like, no. But Wes needs your help. And that Nate, he has a soft spot for Wes. My husband has called me 100 times, you guys. Hold on. Hello? You guys, I'm so distracted. I'm sorry. We trying to get it together. He got another flight. He's coming from LA. He got another flight home. But now he's going to get home later, and we trying to figure out his clothes, Anyway, let me just get through this video. So Wes goes and tells Annalise that he's been cleared to testify, so they're happy about that. So when he goes to court, they ask him, why did he approach Mahoney? He says that he was lost and he needed directions. They asked him if he was disoriented at all, and he said no. And they said, well, don't you have mental issues? And Wes was just like, no, I know what I saw. I saw what I saw. I said what I said. The lawyer is going on and asking all these questions. She's going on, and finally the judge is trying to stop her, but she won't stop, kind of like how Annalise does. until finally the judge was like, you keep on and I'm going to put your ass in jail. Now flip back over to Annalise, and she's talking to the president, who's all broken and don't know what to do about this case. And to make a long story short, Annalise says she's going to take the case, puts a little light into the president's ass, and was like, you need to learn how to fight. Stop turning over and just doing whatever your husband wants you to do. You can't let these men run you over like that. And the president was like, did the men do that to you in your life, your husband? And she was like, many men have done that. Okay, that's why I'm telling you, I'm going to take this case. We're going to fight it. We're going to get your damn kids back. The president looked shocked that Annalise was going to take the case, and Annalise was like, oh, did you think you was going to do better? Back at the court case, we find out that the chick is indeed Charles Mahoney's alibi. And while they're questioning her, we see the setup that they did. Okay, so the burner phone. The burner phone that Annalise gave to Bonnie. Okay, Bonnie put that phone into an envelope and she took it to the guard. Okay, and we saw the guard give the phone to Charles Mahoney, correct? Okay, at the same time, we see fine-ass Frank, who is in the alibi's house. Okay, remember we thought he was going to kill her. Okay, what he did do instead of killing her is he made a call to that said burner phone at the time that Charles Mahoney had it from the alibi's house, so that the number would come up on the call records for that cell phone. And then where Real Nice Nate comes in this whole thing is he calls the lawyer right before she's about to go into court and lets her know that he got a tip that Charles Mahoney has a burner phone in his cell. So that's why the lawyer is like, is this your number? And of course the lady is like, yes. And she was like, okay, well that's the number that called to the burner phone. And didn't you call your boyfriend to set up, you know, your story for court today? Alibi just looking around like, oh my God, am I getting set up? We see Mahoney and his mama sitting at the table. And mama looked like she want to throw up. And when the court case is done for the day, mom goes out and tells the press that she's so pissed off she feels like her son is being framed for this murder. More Connor and Oliver arguing. Oliver wants to know why Connor won't tell him certain aspects of his life and what has happened with Annalise. You know, Connor was like, because it's not my place to tell you. And Oliver was like, see, that's what I mean. I mean, you like the whole idea of me, but you don't want to actually be with me. And Connor was just like, you know what, this is bullshit. Tired of you all over me trying to find out what's going on, okay? Stupid ass don't know that he's trying to protect him. Oliver was just like, if you love somebody, that means that you would tell them everything. And Connor was like, no, when you love somebody, you let them break your heart, and then you still be around for them to trample over that motherfucker again. But whatever, I'm out of here. I was just like, I wish he would just leave Oliver's stupid ass alone. I can't stand Oliver. More seeing Wes and Laurel hugged up under each other. You know, he trying to assure that it was a good day in court. You know, she kind of worried about fine-ass Frank, but he was like, don't you worry, I'm here. You know, she always got to lay on her head on his shoulder. You know, always be like she a fucking baby or something. Annalise gets home from her long day, and Bonnie is sitting on the porch, and she was like, is fine-ass Frank in there? And Bonnie was like, yeah. She was like, okay, you go home. You're gonna handle this. You had your time with him. Let me have my time with him. And she comes in the house and she got the full-on fucking face. She goes around the corner and she looks and sees Frank sitting on the couch. And he's looking like just... Oh my God, you guys, it broke my heart when I saw his expression. He's just looking at her like a kid who has disappointed their mother to the fullest. His eyes was all red-rimmed, and, you know, I just wanted to cry for him. I was just like, why everybody treating fine-ass Frank so bad? You would want a fine-ass Frank on your team. So, you know, he's just trying to tell Annalise, like, I'm so sorry. You know, I thought you were getting better. You and Sam seem to be happy, and, you know, we just all moved on with our life. And she was like, I didn't move on. You sat up here and made me trust you, made me be your friend, made me like you. All the time knowing that you had killed my child. He tries to blame it all on Sam, and she was like, you got the nerve. You got the nerve to do all of this. He says he wants to fix it, and she was just like, well, how you gonna do that? Okay, you can't give me my baby back. Okay, and now all of a sudden everybody is crying and shit, and I was just like, oh, here we go with Annalise and the orifices. This child always has snot. The shit don't just be, it just be like coming down. I said, why we got to always see the Annalise snot? And then you got, she in a new movie that's coming out with her and Denzel. And there's a scene where she's crying and it's just all this snot. I said, girl, you make it so hard to watch you when you be emotional. Just leakage, child. So, you know, this tension is heightened and they're arguing, and she was just like, you can't fix it, you can't do anything, you can't bring my baby back. And he was like, well, let me fix it this way. And he pulls out a gun, he puts it to his chin. And she was just like, well, you think I'm gonna stop you? I don't care, I'm not gonna stop you. Go on and pull the trigger. So he got the gun up to his chin, and Bonnie comes in and she was like, no, Finance Frank, don't do it. She doesn't want you to do it. She won't survive this. I won't survive this. And so Bonnie is saying, don't do it, don't do it. And Annalise is like, do it, pull the trigger, do it, do it. I was just like, ooh. And Finance Frank is like, has the gun up to his face. And I was just like, oh my God, please don't shoot yourself. It goes back to Annalise in jail a week later. And we see Bonnie talking to the kids, you know, Oliver, Asher, and Michaela. And she's telling them that, you know, Annalise is in jail. And so Oliver is just like, you lied to me. Are you lying about Connor? Is he the one that was in the fire? Is he the one that was under the sheet? And baby, it ain't Connor, because the camera then goes to Connor, who is in the bed with who but Thomas. I guess he getting Oliver back for this bullshit. So he's fucking on Thomas, you guys. So now we know that Connor is not the person that's dead there. So all that leaves is Finance Frank and Real Nice Nate. And child, the way that Finance Frank had that gun up to his chin, I couldn't see any reason why Real Nice Nate would even be there, you guys. So it looks like it might be Finance Frank, but I mean, who do you guys think? Those are the only two that's left. You guys, let me get off of here. I am so distracted. This video is probably a mess, and it's about my battery is dying and everything, but I gotta go and try and figure out what's going on with my husband in this flight and see if I'm still gonna be seeing this play tonight. Anyway, you guys, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rocks. The channel is for It's Rocks, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.